Amy Balzer-Tennant here, the Genealogy Reporter, and it is Genealogy Tip Tuesday. And we're talking about some unique, or maybe you might call them non-traditional ways to find vital information, meaning birth, marriage, and death dates. Maybe even places, but especially focusing on the dates. We know that's really important. We're looking for each of our ancestors, when they were born, when they married, when they died. We want the dates. And it's not always as easy as finding a birth certificate or a death certificate or even a marriage record. Okay, sometimes those exist and that's great. You've got this wonderful record that gives you the exact date and place and so forth, but it doesn't always work out that way, and especially as you go back further in time. So I wanted to share with you some interesting places I've been able to find vital dates for my ancestors. I want to begin with the War of 1812 pension records. I had a 4th or 5th great grandfather, Hawkins Bowman, who participated in the War of 1812, and he filed for pension, and his widow did as well. When I found those pension applications, which I found on fold3.com, it was 26 pages long, different documentation for the file. One of the records included that Hawkins appeared to make a statement on the 28th day of April 1855 and said he was 70 years old. Now that is really helpful. So at least I have a calculated birth year. He says, you know, he's 70 years old on this day in 1855. So you do the math, 1855, take away 70, and that brings us to a calculated birth year of 1785. Is that accurate? I don't know, but at least we have something, right? So there's that, including within this pension packet that on the 24th of May, 1879, Nancy, his widow by then, appears, and she says she's 67 years old. So again, we do the math. 1879, take away 67, gives us a calculated birth year for her for 1812. Further in her application forms, she mentions that she was married in about 1838 in Estillville, Scott County, Virginia. That was interesting because I didn't even know that Hawkins or Nancy had ever been in Scott County. And that then led me to more information about Nancy. I knew her maiden name was Nancy Barber because that was actually in the pension application as well. But now I had a place to go to figure out who her parents were. So that information was super. She continued on in this application. She made mention of the day her husband died. Hawk died 13th of April 1870 in Harlan County, Kentucky. And there were even 2 affidavits from neighbors commenting that they had prepared his body for burial. One had said he shaved him, and another one said he helped bury the body on his farm under a tree. So I got a burial place too, because there was no tombstone for Hawk's death. Then, as I'm looking through this packet, I realize that when the pension applicant or the widow pass away, then the office is notified of their passing. And the son-in-law of Nancy and Hawkins Bowman writes in and says that Nancy had passed away on August the 11th, 1887. They would no longer be collecting their pension. And that was reported on the 21st of October, 1887. So just, 2 months-ish away. That's a good death date to have. There's no death record for her, and there's no tombstone. And so this is fantastic. It came from her son-in-law who was there, he says, at her funeral. So I guess he knows when she died. Okay, another good way to find out when someone died. Maybe even where they died, especially if it's you're a little skeptical, not real sure. I was researching the Coddington family of Bureau County, Illinois, and it just so happens that there are numerous county history books on Google Books. If you haven't been to Google Books, definitely give that a shot. And so all I did was type in Bureau County, Illinois history in Google Books, and started taking a look at some of these county history, these biographical sketches. And I found one about my husband's great whatever grandfather, James Coddington. And I had been looking to see, when did James die and where, because I was having a hard time locating that information, where he was currently living at the time that he died. Well, it said in this biographical sketch, it said that James Coddington, father of the above named gentleman, was born January the 25th, 1798 in Allegheny County, Maryland. So I got a birthday, I got a birthplace. That was great. Then a little bit further it says, in 1876, Mr. Coddington returned to his native state for a visit. Okay, I'm going to assume that's Maryland, but met with an accident from the effects of which he died June 1876. Wow. So I've got the day, or rather the month and the year that he died, and that it was because of an accident he sustained in Maryland. Now, it doesn't say, did he die in Maryland? Were they able to get him back home and then did he die? I don't know, but that information might not be something you'd find on any other record, but it was contained in this biographical sketch, which wasn't even really about him, but rather his son. Another cool tip for finding death information as well as possibly birth information. I want to tell you about Samuel Pancake. Now, this guy is not related to me. I just thought when I ran across his name that it was so funny that somebody's last name was Pancake. I don't know why I thought that was that funny, but it was. And I thought I got to know more about this Pancake family. So I did some digging. And I was tracing one Samuel Pancake. And he shows up in the 1880 census, but then he doesn't show up again in 1900. Now, there's a big gap, between the 1800 U.S. Census and the 1900 Census. So, I'm guessing he died in between there. I started digging around the probate records and find that his will had been proved on the 17th of October, 1885. So I kind of guesstimate that Samuel Pancake died between the day the census was taken in 1880 and sometime between October 1885. I couldn't find a death record, couldn't find a tombstone, no other additional information about when Samuel Pancake died. So I decided to look and see if I could find possibly a cemetery record instead, because I know that in my own family, lots of my ancestors did not have tombstones, not even a grave marker. And so the only record of them being buried somewhere are the burial records, sometimes called sexton records or grave records or plot records, different names for those. So Samuel Pancake was last seen in Twin Township, Ross County, Ohio. So I Googled Twin Township, Ross County, Ohio cemetery records. And wouldn't you know, but Ross County had put together their cemetery records. They digitized them and put them online. And in the deeds for cemetery plots, I found Samuel Pancake. He was listed as having been born on the 1st of December, 1825 and died September 25th, 1885. So I was so excited to find that record. Just amazing what you can find when you do a little digging in some more non-traditional places. So give that a try. One of these items suggested might work for you in finding a birth, a death, or marriage date and place. I look forward to hearing your stories and your accomplishments. Leave me a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. I look forward to seeing you here again. Thanks. Bye-bye.